Beloved Masters, it is imperative that you understand the critical nature of the dramatic, accelerated and swiftly changing times you are now experiencing. You are in the final stages of a specific unit of time, and you all have been subject to a unique system of rules. Total free will was deemed to be a great gift, however, it became a great burden as humanity sank into the broad spectrum of duality, which has resulted in great pain and suffering. There was a non-interference clause written in the rules, and the specified time for this particular phase of creation had to be played out before our Father or Mother God could declare, "It is enough. It is time to intercede." There will be a divine dispensation for those who are striving to attain self-mastery, and the spiritual hierarchy and the angelic kingdom are authorized to give assistance in whatever way is appropriate within the framework of cosmic law. The law of grace exists as the higher frequencies of karmic law, and it will, henceforth, apply to the emerging group of world servers as well as the aspirants and disciples on the path of ascension. As this particular era comes to a close, there will be a new system of rules and laws which will apply to all emerging spiritual human beings. A new expanded cycle of creation is in progress, and all of you who are striving to attain a unified state of consciousness will be designated as co-creators of the future. As a ray of God light, your divine mission is to expand the borders of God consciousness. Your goal is to become a master of manifestation, drawing forth the essence of creation, activating it within your sacred heart, and via specific thoughts from within your sacred mind, molding the God substance into an endless variety of forms. Thus, you become a true extension of our Father or Mother God. You, the Wayshowers, are the hope of the future. You are laying the foundation for a new social order. It is vitally important that you walk the middle path. A self-master does not take sides, neither for nor against the conflicts that are presently raging around the world. Your personal power is most effective when you stay centered within your sacred heart and you are guided by the wisdom of your sacred mind. Your stance should always be that of goodwill, and your platform should be for the greatest good of all. As you actively seek enlightenment and strive to return to balance and harmony within, it is important that you become aware of certain karmic limitations which your soul has accepted as a learning experience in this lifetime. There are specific limitations and conditions that cannot be changed, and the lesson is to accept them gracefully and to strive for excellence within the framework of the boundaries that have been imposed upon you not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to balance discordant energy and thought patterns. However, we wish to emphasize, this lifetime is unique for every soul on earth, and no matter what circumstances you were born into, there is an opportunity for greatness and a reservoir of knowledge and talents needed to attain self-mastery. You were designed to be a master of manifestation, a co-creator with God-given abilities. The first step is realizing that you have programmed within your DNA genius potential and a broad spectrum of talents and abilities. You chose, before you incarnated, a set of circumstances with specific abilities which are more readily available than others. However, even though the full range of your gifts and talents is held in reserve, you have the ability to bring them to the fore so that you may begin to actualize, integrate, and use them. You must have access to the higher dimensional levels of the brain in order to make contact with your soul self and the beings of the higher realms. Your brain is composed of multiple levels of consciousness. The lower brain and the 3 lower chakras are the realm of humanity's animal-human consciousness. It is mostly instinctive, drawing much of its information from the collective consciousness of the astral plane as well as from the Earth's consciousness. Survival and the ego desire body are in control of the masses' thoughts and desires, and thus form the prevalent picture of reality. The focus is on the external, material world and on service to self. As your consciousness moves into the mid-level brain activity, you begin the process of becoming a spiritual human being, and your feeling nature will gradually move upward to incorporate the heart and the throat chakra. A gradual awakening process begins as your soul nudges you onto the path of awareness, and the journey of ascension begins. An aspirant on the path must traverse the astral plane and gain control of the emotional and astral body, the lower nature, the 3 lower chakra centers, which will open the pathway to the refined frequencies of cosmic truth via your higher self, guides, teachers and angelic helpers. Harmlessness in thought, word, and deed with focused observation abilities are important traits of a self-master. You must clear the mind of distorted, negative, defeating thoughts before you can become a transmitter of light into the darkness and distortion of the lower dimensions. It is important that you understand, as your frequency patterns or soul song become more refined, your attitudes and comprehension will attune to higher and higher levels of consciousness. Your etheric body will gradually change as well, and it will begin to respond to the higher frequency energies. Service to self gradually evolves into a desire to fulfill your divine mission and to undertake group service. As an enlightened being, you begin to build a bridge of consciousness back into the higher realms of this sub-universe. This pathway was called the Antakarana in ancient, esoteric teachings, and is sometimes known as the Rainbow Bridge currently. In order to return to self-mastery, you must learn to use the three aspects of your mental nature, the brain, the mind, and the soul. You must also clear the negative distortions of the subconscious mind, and attune the conscious mind to your soul self, so that the wisdom of your soul and higher self can begin to flow throughout your four lower bodily systems. Remember, every atom and all your physical being have consciousness. They must be enlightened and attuned to the higher frequency patterns of ascension. You are made of divine essence. You are a spark, a fragment of the Supreme Creator. You have latent powers that must be acknowledged and developed. There is a great need for humanity to refresh its spiritual memory and to develop the powers of a Master of Light. The Antakarana is composed of many sub-tributaries or streams of light, which will ultimately strengthen and magnify the connections between the many facets of self and your oversoul higher self, and ultimately your sacred triad that awaits you in the lowest sub-level of the fifth dimension. These streams of light have consciousness, and they contain the intelligence of your multiple levels of self which reside in the higher realms. As we have told you, your subconscious mind is becoming conscious, and your conscious mind is opening up to the wisdom of your superconscious mind, which contains the mysteries of this sub-universe. You, the aspirants on the path, are becoming proficient at building and using multiple pyramids of light and power in the fifth dimension as you slowly but surely become acclimated to a lower fifth dimensional environment. Many of you have opened the pathways to the cities of light so that you may gradually incorporate higher and more refined frequencies of light. You are also preparing yourselves to interact on a regular basis with the many facets of your higher self and the great beings of light. It is time for the next step in the ascension process to begin, and many of the advanced aspirants on the path are already becoming proficient and engrossed in the procedures. At this time, there is no question that those who are in any way advanced in spiritual consciousness are having their awakening and evolution process hastened as never before in the history of the earth. This step is imperative so that more and more of you may act as transmitters and interpreters of universal law and cosmic truth. The call for reunification is beginning for many of you, whereby your refined soul song is reaching various members of your oversoul higher self. As you refine your vibrational patterns and your energetic signature reaches a certain level of harmony, your soul song will begin to reverberate out into and through the fourth, into the fifth, and for some of you, possibly even into the sixth dimension. As a result, via streams of light, you will begin to connect with the auric fields of some of the soul fragments of your higher self. Slowly, these blessed facets of yourself are becoming aware of you, and gradually, they will begin the process of exchanging memory seed atoms of higher consciousness with you. Those whose resonance is lower than yours will fall into line within the appropriate dimensional level below you, while those who are on the path ahead of you will slowly move closer within the column of light above you. You will also be moving laterally, as well as higher, into the refined realms as all of the fragments of your higher oversoul self gradually begin the process of moving closer and closer to your central column of divine light. For some of you this information will be confusing, however, many of you are experiencing this process in varying degrees during your nightly sojourns or in meditation. Therefore, we wish to give you a basic understanding of what is taking place at the various levels of the ascension process. We will discuss this further and in more depth in the near future. As you study and delve into the mysteries of cosmic truth, you will begin to build a reservoir of knowledge which you can draw upon when needed. Also, as you gain further access to your sacred mind, it will seem as if you have tapped into a cosmic source of information. However, in the beginning, it will be your own ancient, extensive past that has been made available to you. You will become increasingly sensitive to ideas, concepts, and complex information, and you will gain the ability to tap into this rich storehouse of information at will. As you evolve and become skillful at sharing your wisdom with others, you will become increasingly sensitive to the subtle messages, concepts, and ideas from your guides, teachers, angelic helpers and the enlightened beings from the higher realms. When you have turned the information you have garnered into wisdom, and you have become a living example of each new, advanced level of consciousness, you will then be qualified to teach the concepts to others. You must experience that which you teach and become a shining example, which is the most effective way to get the attention of others. Remember, my brave ones, in every era and major cycle, cosmic wisdom and divine truth are made available to those with open minds and loving hearts. Submission to the will of our Father or Mother God means adherence to the universal laws as they are revealed to you. A self-master always strives to make the highest choices, has a burning desire to serve others, and is always responsible for their own actions. We see the light expanding and gaining strength in many places around the world. We also see your radiance and influence growing, and you are making a positive impact on more lives than ever before. You must remain heart-centered and soul-focused as the chaos and fear grow and spread throughout the planet. We have now joined forces and we are and ever will be invincible, for we are fulfilling a divine mandate from our Father or Mother God. Eternal love, protection, and blessings are yours, now and forevermore. I am Archangel Michael.